Okay, Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Dear students, welcome to the class. Today we are going to finish the previous topic which we started. And the topic was about Pakistan's relationship with its neighboring countries, including China, Iran and Afghanistan, but the focus would be only on China, and we'll cover Iran and Afghanistan later on. In the previous, let's have a quick recap so we can recapitulate what we covered last time. We discussed about China, which is a very important country in East Asia. And of course, they are the second largest economy. They are the largest, you can say, country in terms of population, largest, market, and they are the largest trading partners of, Latin America, and European Union, ASEAN region, SAARC, and others. So basically, China, being a veto power, nuclear weapon state, and one of the largest military force, they are dominating the world politics, politically, economically, and strategically. So having a border with Pakistan is a blessing for Pakistan. Basically, Pakistan's border is a blessing for China, and China's border with Pakistan is a blessing for Pakistan. So basically, both countries are, politically, economically, and strategically connected, and they have got, deep-rooted ties since 1950s and 60s. We also talked about Pakistan's, position in South Asia, and where Pakistan is located and why Pakistan is important for China. We also covered about the historical relationship, which was not cordial in the initial phase, but later on after 60s, Pakistan and China relationship improved with the passage of time, and Pakistan settled its border dispute, which was not actually a dispute, but there were some issues related to boundaries, so which Pakistan settled amicably with China. And after that, avenues of cooperation and collaboration opened up with China. And China, they were not only, there to provide Pakistan with conventional weapons, but they also supported Pakistan in the nuclear program. They also, connected Pakistan through Karakoram Highway. It was, one of the most important, you can say, strategically important route which connected Pakistan with China, and that route was really a miracle. 3,000 workers died during this particular construction of this route. So this is the reason that this is also considered as the eighth wonder of the world. China has always supported Pakistan, especially Pakistan's position over Kashmir. And in 1965, China supported Pakistan when United States of America, imposed arm embargoes on Pakistan and India. So at that time, Pakistan got support from the Chinese. And slowly and gradually, America, in different phases, we have covered in the previous lectures that America has ditched Pakistan in different eras. Um, and at that time, China has always been, providing us consistent support, consistent political, economic, and strategic support. So this is the importance of China. During Cold War, Pakistan and China, we also collaborated, and especially in Afghanistan, and Pakistan was the country which connected China with the United States of America, and then China was opened up with the world, and in 80s and 90s subsequently, in these 2 decades, Chinese economy grew exponentially, and they brought 800 million people out of poverty during this period. So this is the miracle which Chinese have achieved. So China's support to Pakistan has always been great, and both countries also collaborated with each other to counter or contain the Soviet Union in Afghanistan. So that was also a very important issue. Despite supporting Pakistan's position on Kashmir, on several occasions, Chinese have shown neutrality, especially in 1990 when there was Kashmir uprising, and thousands of people killed in Kashmir. At that time, China showed neutrality and asked Pakistan and India to show some restraint, and never go for war. In 98 and then 1999, Kargil War, China again came up with neutral position in which China again reiterated its position that Pakistan and India must resolve their issues amicably through peaceful negotiations. तो चाइना ने बहुत सारी जगहों पे न्यूट्रलिटी शो की है और बहुत सारी जगहों पे दे स्टूड विद पाकिस्तान. After 9/11, the Chinese have, again came up with support to Pakistan, and they provided, Pakistan with immense support, especially in the war against terror. They provided us weapons and equipment. They provided us all sorts of, political support which was needed. So Pakistan became very important after 9/11, and we have already covered this. Pakistan and China got some discord over the Xinjiang province, where the ETIM terrorist group, which is fighting against the Chinese government, and the Chinese believed that this particular group, they get support from Pakistan. And I told you that this region is very important region for China because they, extract 40% of their oil and gas from this region. So, and this region has always been a, you can say crossroad of different civilizations. So that is why this region is very important for China. So the Chinese are now investing a lot of money. They are connecting this region with Pakistan through CPAC, and they have invested more than $64 billion just to develop this region. So this region has been, infected with low intensity conflict, insurgencies going on there. Almost this region is of about 9 million Uyghurs. They are the ethnic group living in this region, and this particular group is facing alienation in this region, and the Chinese government is subjugating this region, these people, Uyghurs, and they are now fighting back with this. They want a separate homeland simply. So which the Chinese are they are not going to allow. The war against, ETIM, Pakistan has always been supportive of China, and the Chinese, leaders of ETIM were killed in Pakistan in 2003 and 10 subsequently, and Pakistan have, always supported the Chinese cause, just to bring peace and stability in the this particular region, which is called Xinjiang. Okay, so we started yesterday with Pakistan and China strategic cooperation. As I told you before, the Chinese has always supported Pakistan whenever we had any issues with the Indians, and this was the reason that the Chinese, came closer to Pakistan because they were sharing same enemy, India, and both had wars with India. Pakistan had a war in 1962. Pakistan had a war with India in 1947, 48, then 65, 71, 99. And we also had, low intensity conflict going on LOC. Whereas the Chinese, they have got issues with India. In 1962, they had a war over Aksai-Chin, and later on, they had some issues over Ladakh and other regions. And the low intensity conflict is going on there. And recently, you have seen that 20 Indians, including a colonel, were killed by the Chinese forces. So a low intensity conflict is also going on there at the line of actual control with the Chinese. But India is not aggressive there. Wahan pe China is aggressive because China is superior, China is powerful. Whereas on LOC, India is aggressive and Pakistan is on the defensive position because here India is in powerful position. They have got superior military. Numerically, they have got strength. Economically, they are superior than Pakistan. Okay, so why Pakistan and China came closer? I told you before that both countries had shared security interests, and China always wanted Pakistan to be a first line of defense against India. So both countries are allies. And to achieve this goal, Pakistan and China came closer. China has always, for example, Chinese, when Pakistan was denied, support in the nuclear field by United States of America and major powers, it was the only Chinese who came for the help, and they not only established civil nuclear reactors in Pakistan, but also supported Pakistan in military aircraft, tanks, and other conventional hardware. And in return, Pakistan has always supported China's position in Xinjiang province over Taiwan issue, Tibet issue, and South China Sea. So this is the reciprocal relationship between these two countries. Both countries regularly carry out, joint military exercises, which is also part of their larger, you can say, strategic cooperation, in which both countries are, sharing the practices to counter terrorism. Pakistan has practically fought against terrorism since 2001 in tribal areas of Pakistan and Balochistan and other areas where Pakistan has practically fought, guerrilla warfare in the last 19 years. And they have got first-hand experience in this particular issue. Chinese are also involved in Xinjiang province. So both countries have, shared their good practices when it comes to counterterrorism. If we analyze the China and Pakistan's relationship, it is multi-dimensional relationship. Both countries are focusing on deep-rooted, strategic cooperation, in which we are going to discuss these things in coming slides. Secondly, both countries are also pursuing a win-win business ties. Now, this is the slogan, but if you ask me neutrally, I would say there is a huge balance of trade between India, Pakistan, and China. The Chinese, their products have, took the Pakistani market, and they have replaced Pakistani products. So, which is, I think, not good for Pakistani businessmen, but still, we are, sharing these things with the Chinese. Expanding cultural and social exchanges. More than 10,000 Pakistani students are currently enrolled in China. Secondly, both countries are closely aligned with each other. Now, marriages are also taking place. The Chinese grooms and Chinese girls are marrying Pakistani men and women. So this is, a reciprocal thing which is going on there. Strengthening cooperation in the international affairs and upholding common interests. So Pakistan and China, they are collectively, they are enjoying the same position in international affairs, international, issues. For example, over Syria, over Iraq, over Afghanistan, and many other issues. Pakistan and China, they are, standing together, and they are trying to resolve these issues, on a same page. You can say the most important, collaboration between Pakistan and China is their military cooperation. And Pakistan, after, getting ditched by the United States of America, and United States of America has always betrayed Pakistan whenever Pakistan needed. In 65, 71 was the most appropriate, time when Pakistan needed the American support, but America could not give us the right support. So this is the reason that Pakistan and China cultivated their strategic ties, and now both countries are, collaborating in elite, Pakistan's elite, you can say, fighter jets, like for example, Youyi-IV Thunder, which is being, manufactured by both countries, and both countries are collaborating in that. So Kamara ke andar we are, assembling these particular aircraft. पाकिस्तान को इन्होंने तकरीबन 50 के करीब इन्होंने एक्सपेडाइट किए कुछ जहाज. Plus they are also helping Pakistan in the naval area and trying to improve Pakistan. So Youyi-IV Thunder is going to be the backbone of Pakistani Air Force. So this is very good aircraft, and ultimately it is not in comparison with F-16s or Su-30, but still it is a potent aircraft when it comes to India. India के context में this is quite good aircraft क्योंकि हमारा porous borders हैं, we got proximity, and it has a range of about, I think, 1.7. यहाँ पे इसकी लिखी होगी range. It has got a range of about 3,000 kilometers. So which is quite good. It's a maximum range. So it is basically a India specific aircraft. It can carry, conventional and nuclear warheads as well. So which is quite good. So Pakistan is also considering fifth generation aircraft, because in future the Indians are getting, Rafale and all sorts of, weapons which may undermine Pakistan's strategic interest in future. So Pakistan is already in deal with China. I got to know about this in 2018 when I was interviewing for my PhD synopsis thesis, and Ashfaq Rai, who is the who was this senior Air Force official. I think he was Air Vice Marshal, or I think he was a senior. I think on senior position. He told me that Pakistan is in collaboration with China, and we are in deal with China to induct fifth generation aircraft, which is going to have stealth capabilities, and it would have long endurance. It would have advanced avionics and advanced weapons and other guidance systems. So this particular aircraft FC-31 is designed to fly close air support and air interdiction. Air interdiction का मतलब है कि दुश्मन को रोकना. And it is also used for offensive missions. If you want to carry out preemptive strikes against India, and if you want to carry out deeper strikes in India, so this particular aircraft would help Pakistan in countering the Indian air defense systems and other things, because it has got stealth attributes. इसके अलावा we also manufacture trainer aircraft, and these particular aircraft is very famous in the world, and both countries manufacture this. They train their Air Force pilots. Pakistan also got AWACS from the Chinese, and these AWACS, they have got about a range of about 5,000 kilometer plus. It has the ability to detect incoming aircraft, UAVs, anything in the air by the enemy, anything which is coming in the air, it would be detected by this particular aircraft. So Pakistan has inducted these aircraft from the Chinese, and they are very good, quite good for the information, real-time info for the real-time information. So it would provide Pakistan with real-time information about the incoming missiles and other things. Both countries are also collaborating in Pakistan's elite tank, Al Khalid tank, which is one of the best tank in the world. It has got a combat range of about 500 kilometers, and it has a speed of about 72 kilometers per hour. Now, this particular tank is the backbone of Pakistan. Or luckily, we are manufacturing this. Whereas if you analyze it with the Indian context, India is importing T-90 S tanks from the Russians. So they are totally dependent on Russia for its improvement, for its refurbishment, for its repair, for its spare parts. So luckily we are manufacturing these tanks in Pakistan. HIT Al Khalid tank is one of the best tank in the world, and Alhamdulillah, we are self-sufficient in it. So far, I think we have got some 400 plus these tanks, but we have the capacity to add more and more in coming years. Other than that, there has always been negotiations, because Pakistan had a gunship helicopter Cobra from the United States of America, which is old technology. And now recently America is not going to give us the Apache, which they gave to India, and that is also quite costly. But now we are in negotiation with the Chinese to induct Z-10 anti-tank helicopter, which is very good helicopter in modern times. It is quite efficient. It is equipped with many guided missiles, and it could be used in the anti-tank warfare. So it would be quite useful against the invading Indian tank forces. So armored units, you can say, mechanized forces. So such type of capabilities are going to provide Pakistan with offensive punch whenever we are going to face India in the conventional war. So this is something which is going to provide Pakistani army with offensive punch. Other than that, Pakistan and China, they are also collaborating in the air defense domain, because India is inducting Rafale and Su-30 aircraft, modern aircraft, plus they are also coming up with, advanced missile systems. So Pakistan, to counter India, Pakistan has inducted, low to medium range, you can say, air defense system, which is LY-80. And this particular air defense system has the ability to detect and interdict any incoming missile or you can say aircraft from the Indian side at a distance of about 18 to 12 to 18 kilometers. So this particular capability is also going to provide Pakistan with options to counter the Indian surgical strikes in future. So Pakistan has already inducted this, and this is quite good system. India and China and Pakistan, they are also collaborating in the naval domain, maritime domain, because Chinese have got interest in the Arabian Sea, especially in the Gwadar port. So Chinese would like Pakistan Navy to not only provide, they want Indian Navy, Pakistani Navy to be equipped to counter any ingress of the Indian Navy in the Arabian Sea or in the Indian Ocean region. So that's why they are helping Pakistan Navy to get such type of frigates and warships just to protect its coastal areas and also to protect their maritime interest, especially the Gwadar port where the Chinese have got their interest. And as you know that the 80% of the Chinese supplies goes through the Strait of Hormuz and all these areas, and Pakistan is sitting on the mouth of Arabian Sea. So they would like that Pakistan Navy should be well equipped, and they are helping Pakistan not only in the frigates and other warships, but they are also helping Pakistan in the submarines domain. So in future, China may also provide Pakistan with a nuclear submarine, which is required to for the assured second strike capability. So that is also quite good. Other than that, both countries are also collaborating and they are carrying out joint military exercises. Now, you must know that what is the importance of military exercises. Military exercises would equip or enable a country or a military to achieve their stated doctrines. So both countries are collaborating with each other. Army, Air Force, Navy, they carry out periodic military exercises. They share their good practices. They carry out counter terrorism and other joint exercises just to improve their overall and refurbish their capabilities. So such type of exercises, especially in the counter-terrorism domain, are going to equip both countries with modern techniques. The most important engagement between Pakistan and China is in the nuclear domain. As you know that India is collaborating with the United States of America, and they carried out an Indo-US deal in 2005, and this deal was finally signed in 2008. And after that, India would get uninterrupted supplies of nuclear fuel from the United States of America, Japan, Australia, and other members of the nuclear suppliers group. So they were not ready to give Pakistan with nuclear fuel, and they said the Pakistan's record is not good, which is wrong assertion. Pakistan's nuclear record is impeccable, and so no country was ready to give Pakistan with nuclear technology, know-how, or nuclear reactors. So China came for the help, and Chinese, they have always been supportive of Pakistan, and since 1986. They supplied Pakistan with nuclear reactors, and now recently they have also established few nuclear reactors in Pakistan, especially the Kashnop and others, and they are expanding Pakistani nuclear program. So currently, Pakistan's nuclear energy, we get nuclear energy from almost about 750 megawatt, and China is constructing 2 reactors in Chashma to boost output of 1400 megawatt, and they are also helping Pakistan in 3 more nuclear reactors, which would cost Pakistan with $13 billion in future. So the deal between Pakistan and China is aimed to provide Pakistan with 8,800 megawatt of electricity or energy by 2030. So this is what Pakistan is going to get, all these reactors from the Chinese. So China is there to help Pakistan in the nuclear domain. Now, let me tell you that this nuclear cooperation is not in the military domain. This cooperation is only in the civilian domain. Okay. These are some of the Pakistani nuclear sites, facilities, and just for your information. Economic cooperation, we have already covered so much about it, and economic cooperation is very much there. And most importantly, Pakistan, the Chinese have recently invested $64 billion in CPAC. But since ages, both countries are collaborating in the economic domain. They have provided a lot of support and aid to Pakistan since long, but in modern times, the Chinese have come up with CPAC, which is a very important project, and this particular project is going to change the destiny of not only Pakistan but also India. So Pakistan and China, they are investing in defense, they are investing in nuclear energy, they are investing in transportation, space programs, telecommunications, electronic products, energy sector. And the Chinese are, providing a lot of help to Pakistan. Both countries are also upgrading Karakoram Highway, which is part and parcel of CPAC, and CPAC is the, you can say, the most important, you can say, part of China's BRI program. And Chinese BRI program, I told you before, it's Belt Road Initiative or its New Silk Route Initiative, in which the Chinese are going to connect Pakistani, you can say Chinese are going to connect their western province, which is the landlocked region, through Pakistan, with the Gwadar port, and through Gwadar they are going to connect their economy with the rest of the world. So basically, this is the deep-rooted economic cooperation between Pakistan and China, and this particular cooperation is going to connect China with South Asia, with the Arabian Sea, with African countries, and many other powers of the world. And ultimately, the Chinese are going to secure their overall, you can say, interest, economic interest in the region. And there are other details as well, which you can read later on. I will give you all these things. They have also discussed some challenges which both Pakistan and China are facing. Let's quickly look onto those challenges, and then we can have question answer session to discuss other things as well. Pakistan and China, collectively, they are facing a challenge from, the of course, from the Indian, you can say, ingress in this region, Indian assertiveness in this region. So both countries are trying to, resolve their issues and trying to overcome their weaknesses and, problems. And that's why they are collaborating with each other in all domains, politically, economically, and strategically, so they can counter the Indian, you can say, ingress in this region. So let's see what are the challenges Pakistan and China are facing. First, the tangible financial support Pakistan needs from China is not as forthcoming as it used to be. अच्छा, इसके अंदर मैं आपको बता दूं कि जो $64 billion उन्होंने अभी लगा रहे हैं ना, they are not giving this money to Pakistan, और ना ही उन्होंने पाकिस्तान के अकाउंट में ये चीजें जमा कराई हैं. वो कह रहे हैं कि हम खुद आके ये करेंगे. और ये क्यों हो रहा है ऐसा? ये इसलिए हो रहा है because there is great amount of mistrust. और चाइनीज बिलीव के जी पाकिस्तान की जो पॉलिटिकल लीड है, they are not trustable, और वहां पे उनको पर ट्रस्ट नहीं किया जा सकता. So that's why the Chinese are not supporting Pakistan, you can say, openly, maybe. So they are not relying on Pakistan. So this mistrust and suspicion should be resolved, and it could be resolved if we get a sincere leadership in Pakistan. Secondly, Pakistan become more unstable. China is finding it more difficult to balance support for its ally with the criticism Pakistan received from the international community, mainly related to efforts to tackle the spread of militancy. अच्छा, यहाँ पे आके चाइना, मैंने आपको बताया था, न्यूट्रल हो गया था when it comes to support to militancy. कह लें आप. For example, Kashmir struggle is being supported by Lashkar-e-Taiba. ये सबको पता है इस चीज का. And Hafiz Saeed, they are the front face of Lashkar-e-Taiba. Maulana Dr.Masood, they are the front face of Jaish-e-Mohammed. So they were basically the cronies, and Pakistan used these people in Kashmir. But now, after 9/11, India smartly linked Kashmir struggle with terrorism. So now Chinese are not openly supportive of Pakistani cause, especially Pakistan's policy to create subversion in Kashmir, Indian held Kashmir. So this is the reason that Chinese are a little bit they are, they have become neutral when it comes to Lashkar-e-Taiba or Jaish-e-Mohammed. They are not that supportive. Thirdly, support of Uyghur militant from Pakistan, is also a source of concern for the Chinese, because Pakistani government is, supporting the Chinese cause, but there are many groups, there are many people in Pakistan who support the Uyghur militants in the name of Islam or in the name of, other things. So that particular thing is, creating a little discord between China, Pakistan and China, but still, the relationship which we have got, they are, momentous, and they are huge. Fourth, threats to Chinese workers in Balochistan and other parts of the country. This is also a major challenge. And this challenge is not by the BLA, I would say. BLA is, indirectly being controlled by the Indians or by the Afghans. So this is something which is, very dangerous for Pakistan, because, Indians, they have been, manipulating these things. They deployed, आपको पता ही है, Kulbhushan Yadav in Chabahar in Iran, just to create subversion in Balochistan. Now, why they are creating subversion in Balochistan? They are creating subversion in Balochistan. Just they are manipulating Pakistan's political vulnerabilities in Balochistan, just to fail the CPAC project, Gwadar project, because they believe that Gwadar is is the port which has got capacity to change destiny of Pakistan. Let me tell you, शायद मैंने आपको पहले भी रेफरेंस के तौर पे बताया हो कि Singapore is a tiny country and it's a small country, 970 square kilometer area पे छोटा सा मुल्क है, लेकिन उनकी जो डेस्टिनी है वो चेंज हो गई एक पोर्ट की वजह से, पोर्ट ऑफ सिंगापुर की वजह से। और पोर्ट ऑफ सिंगापुर की वजह से आज सिंगापुर इज कंसिडर्ड एज वन ऑफ द डेवलप्ड कंट्रीज इन द वर्ल्ड। उनके फॉरेन एक्सचेंज रिजर्व्स भी आपसे ज्यादा हैं, डिफेंस स्पेंडिंग भी आपसे ज्यादा है, हालांकि छोटा सा मुल्क है, आपके एक बड़े शहर से भी छोटा होगा। दिस इज द वैल्यू ऑफ हैविंग सच एसेट्स। तो गवादर भी सिंगापुर, पोर्ट ऑफ सिंगापुर की तरह, शंघाई पोर्ट की तरह बहुत बड़ी पोर्ट है। इसकी जो कैपेसिटी है, आई टोल्ड यू, आई थिंक 400 मिलियन एनुअल टन इज द कैपेसिटी ऑफ गवादर, आई थिंक, which is going to change the destiny of Pakistan, Balochistan in 15 to 20 years. So India don't want that, and that's the reason that the Indians are attacking the Chinese workers in Pakistan through BLA. And BLA, they are basically innocent people. They are being used, and they are being manipulated because of the socio-economic deprivation which is there in Balochistan since ages. So the government of Pakistan must work with Chinese just to overcome these issues and provide these people with opportunities, with jobs, with education. So they are part and parcel of the mainstream politics, mainstream military intelligence. So once they are part of the mainstream, I think you can overcome insurgency in Balochistan. Finally, the regional dynamics of South Asia in general and global multipolarity in particular are also the challenges. Regional context, I told you that the Indians are very much aggressive, and the Indians have, according to General Zubair Hayat, who was the CJCSC of Pakistan, he said that India has established a $500 million worth of secret cell to disrupt CPAC. So you can well imagine कि क्या वो करेंगे just to disrupt CPAC. So they are going to support militancy in Pakistan. They are going to invest a lot of money in Pakistan, especially in Balochistan province, or they are going to manipulate things in Pakistan through Afghanistan because they were sitting in Afghanistan. They have been doing all these things in last 19 years. So these are the regional dynamics which are changing in the region in South Asia. And they are going to impact Pakistan's security as well. So they are also a challenge for Pakistan and China, and that's the reason both countries are now collaborating with each other just to overcome this challenge. Other than that, at global level, they are facing challenges from the United States of America, along with their European cronies. So China, at the global stage, China, Russia, Pakistan, Iran, Turkey, and all these countries are now facing the other powers in the region, like for example United States of America and others. They collectively, the Chinese especially, They face the U.S. irony in Middle East, especially in Iraq, Syria, where the Chinese and the Russians they supported Bashar al-Assad's government. In Afghanistan, Pakistan, China, Russia, they were on board and they were supportive of Taliban. And ultimately, United States of America had to concede to the demands and they had to leave Afghanistan. So today in Afghanistan, the Chinese and the Pakistanis, they have won. Their foreign policy, their approach has won in Afghanistan. So same is the case in other areas as well. Pakistan and China, they are working together, but they are facing challenges by the United States of America, by the Indians in the region, in the Indian Ocean region. So this is something which is very important, and you need to understand all these dynamics.